Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place. What is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings that you care for them. You have made them a little lower than the angels, and crowned them with glory and honor. You have made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds, and the animals of the wild, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, all that swim the paths of the seas. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
It's because of Him. Alright. I try to understand the little mysteries that I found. I try to get my feet on higher ground. The promises of thy word are written down in my heart. And now you're with me, Lord. No one will keep us apart.
Because of Him,
I can show the world I love them. I can show the world I care. I can wipe away my tears. These things I can do. And when that burden lays heavy on your shoulder, and I'm being put to the test, He said, come ye who are heavy laden, come ye, and I will give you rest.
because of Him,
I can show the world I love them. I can show the world I care. I can wipe away my tears. These things I can do. And when the problems come, bringing on a storm, Jesus' tender love keeps me safe and warm. The enemy only comes to lie, to cheat and steal, but there's nothing he can do to take us from the love of you.
because of
The little mysteries that I've found. I try to get my feet on higher ground. The promises of thy word are written down in my heart. And now you're with me, Lord. No one will keep us apart.
because of Him,
I can show the world I love them. I can show the world I care. I can wipe away my tears. These things I can do.
because of Him,
I can show the world I love them.
because of Him,
I can show the world I care. I can wipe away my tears. These things I can do.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Pastor Errol Williams here from the Church of the Prophecy in Wembley. Once again, so excited to be here with you tonight. I won't be focusing on scripture per se. I'll be focusing on some software that is essential to churches. Maybe all of them you may not want, but I am absolutely certain there's definitely one here that you would want to use in your local church. Now, I was just thinking that there will come a time when I will be charging for these services. So while it's free, take full advantage of the opportunity. I would strongly recommend that you have a pen and paper, or you can always come back and watch this particular video. But it might be useful as well, just to make some notes, as well as if you have any questions or any, concerns and etc. Now, we're in a lot of chat rooms. So, we're in a lot of chat rooms, actually. A lot of social media sites that we're on at the moment. I'm almost losing count at the moment, but God is good. He's enabled us to be able to be on varying different platforms at the same time. So I'm going to pray, definitely, and then we're going to get tucked in to our session. Now, it's a Thursday night, and normally I'm not online on a Thursday, but what I did promise was if I'm ever free on a Thursday and I'm at home, well, I just go online and share some online stuff. Now, I can't teach on all the points I'm going to go through, so I'm just going to go through some, let's say, overview, if you like. I'll show you some of the software, and we will also be able to just have a brief look. But some of them I'll just talk about. There's quite a few, so it's important that you capture them as well. Now, I want to say that all the ones I'm talking about, I use them daily, or let's say weekly. Some of them daily, some of them weekly. Some I use more than the others, but I use every single one of them, okay? I'm familiar with them, and I'm going to show you actually how I learned them, and I'm going to show you as well, when I'm stuck, how do I resolve it, okay? How do I get out of the situation? Because sometimes, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning while you're working on something and you're absolutely stuck. There's no one to really reach out to. But is that true? Well, I'm going to show you how I do it. So let's pray. Father, I thank you so much for this great opportunity to learn about some of the things that you have revealed to us. Father, your word makes it quite clear. The earth is yours, and the fullness thereof, the world, and all they that dwell therein belong to you. Cattle upon 1,000 hills are yours. This technology belongs to you. It is a good and perfect gift that you've given to the body of Christ that we can use, we can leave. So, Father, I pray that you will inspire us as we go through tonight, some of the things that we can use to make your church even on a better footing. I ask that you will inspire. I ask that you will illuminate. I ask that you'll have your way. In other words, Lord, reposition us for excellence. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, everyone. I want to say welcome to all of you that's coming online. Quite a few people coming into the chat rooms. And I really do appreciate every one of you. So I'm not going to waste any time today, actually. I'm going to get straight with the program. Okay, I'm going to get straight into it. So let me then go over to my iPad. This is my iPad that I'm on, and put my picture up. And I want to say welcome to everyone. We're looking at essential software every local church should have. I did have every local church must have, but then I changed the word should have. And it all depends really what your goals are. If you want to achieve excellence and to actually reach the digital workspace or the digital marketplace, because everyone is in the digital market space to some degree. You can reach people as well, not just in the UK, but further afield that are wanting to connect with you. And let me just share a story with you. I went to Prague once, and as I was sitting in the reception in a hotel, 2 beautiful young white girls were walking past. They looked over at me, saw me, came over to me, and they said to me, "Pastor Errol." And I thought to myself, where did they know me from? And they said, "Well, we watch you every week." And so it's amazing. There they are in Prague, and I'm able to reach them. Now you can stay within the four walls of your confinement and just reach the 50 or 100 or 200 people that comes into you every week, or you can reach millions of people. The choice is yours. And now we ought to go ye into all the world, right, and preach and teach the gospel to all people. So God is the one who these tools belong to, not Satan. Satan doesn't own these tools. These are God-given tools to the earth. These are not from Satan. This is from God. Now, let me get started then. I'm going to share with you my very first tool that I think every church should have. Now, it's interesting because we talk about church management software. Now, the ones you see in red are the ones that I use, okay, that we use. So I've been using this church management software forever, if you like. I've been using it for over 10 years now in the local church in Wembley, and I must say it's very robust. It's the top end of professionalism, if you like. The same company that owns Elvanto is the one that owns Breeze, and you've got many others out there as well, Church Suite and so on. But I have found Elvanto to be the one I prefer because I've done my research, and it is just out of this world. Okay, and I just believe that Elvanto is just the boom. I mean, I love the way that it functions. I love the way it operates. So I'm going to share my screen with you just to give you a little insight into that. So let me I'm not so sure if you'll be able to see my screen, but yeah, you can see it. Perfect. Excellent. Everything seems to be working beautifully. Now I'm going to go to Elvanto. Normally when I forget how to log into Elvanto, I normally go to our website and then go to the very bottom of the page. And Elvanto is just amazing. So I'm going to log into Elvanto here. I'm going to use this account. So I'm going to log in. Now, what is so amazing is that you can use Elvanto for your website. You know, you can use it for so many different things, messages that you want your membership to actually receive. So, for example, the way the Church of God Prophecy in the country uses Elvanto is that we use it mainly here in this section where ministers and people who are pastors can report to our national bishop. So we created the reports, put those reports into the system. Pastors log in, clerks log in, and all the people who needs to log in, and they're able to do their report. So when I come to do my report, I will come in here, and these are messages from, say, the bishop and certain things about reporting. But we could put any information we have. This is like a intranet, if you like, of the church. You have to be a member to get in, and then once you get in, you get to see information. Now, what is interesting, only the people who are in the Wembley church, okay, out of the 70 churches that we have throughout the country, only the people that are in the Wembley church can see this page because it's locked down to that particular local church. So if your local church was in the system and you wanted to communicate to your members when they log in, then you would have different information. So this information here is only viewed by those in Wembley. So when a person comes here, like myself, I come to this page, and then I just click on the pastor's report, and here's the report, and I fill this in. And when I fill this in, that report then goes directly to the national bishop so that he can actually see exactly what I've been up to, and so on and so forth. Now, not only that, but we also have what we call the admin section. So when I go to the admin section, there's another side of it. This is where, for example, we keep people's database. So I'm going to go to my database, my one. I don't mind sharing my information with you. This is my real information. This is who I am. It's all real. I don't mind sharing my information with you. So you can see the information on me, and this is information that we can keep on people. You see, you can stay with the book format. In other words, you have people's details on a sheet of paper, or whatever works for you is fine. But I don't have no paper. I don't use paper. I haven't used paper in over 5 years. In fact, more than that, maybe around 7 years now, because everything now is electronic and so on. So I could come in here and I could see my details, all the groups that I belong to, and all my family, and so on and so forth. And what is so beautiful about Elvanto, it's a church management system. In other words, it helps you to manage your church. You need a system to help you manage your church if you want to be effective and save time. Okay, I'm not going to go into showing you all the things that it can do, because you can go on YouTube. You can actually use certain tools that help you learn this software. So I thought that I would share with you, first of all, Elvanto, and that's my first tip to you when we talk about understanding how things work. So I strongly recommend that you use a church management system, some form of electronic system that does the work for you. Let the machine do the work for you. You don't have to slave and have things all over the place, but you have them all in one place. So I strongly recommend that you check out a church management system. If you don't like Elvanto, then use another one. I love Elvanto. I think it's the best out there. In actual fact, when I asked the question to ChatGPT, list me the top 10, church management system, Elvanto is number one. Okay, that's my first tip to you. Second tip is every church should have ProPresenter. I mean, ProPresenter is the creme de la creme when it comes to being able to project your songs, your scripture onto a screen. I mean, it is the boom. That's what we use for our corporate convocation. I use this at church, and I also use this when I'm doing funerals online. I'm able to project certain things in a certain way. So ProPresenter is just the boom. It's the number one. Now, I used to use another one. It's still in operation, but I would never go back to that particular software. But it did serve the church absolutely well back in the day. But ProPresenter is just on another level. I mean, I just can't begin to tell. So let's have a look at ProPresenter then. And this is ProPresenter. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And what's so phenomenal about ProPresenter is that you can learn this all online. This is how I learned it. I learned it through YouTube. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And it's a steep learning curve, but it's powerful. It's not free, so you have to pay for the software. You have to pay for ProPresenter. Now it's telling me that there's a new version, and straight after this I will upgrade that. So I'll just say remind me later. Now the beautiful thing about ProPresenter, it works from left to right. So you've got all your libraries over here where maybe all your songs. So we've got 1,443, which is a very small amount, but that doesn't matter. You can actually have online where you can pull down thousands and thousands of songs. So that's not even an issue in that sense. But I'm using this at home, not the one at church. So you can create your libraries, and from your libraries you can create your playlist and so on. We have, for example, prayer every morning online. So what I do basically, we have what I call the House of Prayer, it's called, And then if I want to share certain, PowerPoint slides with the brethren, I want to say to them, look, 21 days of prayer and fasting is coming. It goes into that particular screen, and then it goes to everyone on Zoom. So it's just a way of connecting it. So whatever you see over here on the right hand side is what's going to the screen. But not only that, if you look at this drop down here, you could have what's going on screen. You could have information going on the stage. You could have information going on downstairs to the ushers and so on. And you could have information going to people that are online. So you could have it going to different direction. It's just really amazing. If I want to play a video, when I did the service, I'm not so sure if you can hear it, but that. So you can play video, you can play, bring PowerPoint in. Not only can you bring PowerPoint in now, but you can bring PowerPoint in and manipulate the PowerPoint. So before, when PowerPoint came in, it just came in as an image, but now it comes in such a way that you can actually fiddle around with it. So it is absolutely amazing. So you've got your library, your playlist, and you've got down here, for example, if I wanted to, let's say, play a song. So I'm going to find a song. Let's go to Amazing Grace. So I look for Amazing Grace in the system, and here's Amazing Grace. Let me look for this one. And I could then drag that over to here, and here is Amazing Grace. I can actually decide the type of theme I want to that. I just want just a basic theme for the time being. So here you find now it's projecting now onto the projector at church, and on top of that, we can actually then choose a video background, for example. So I often choose this one. It's really kind of very subtle and very slow, not too distracting and so on, because sometimes I rather just use black and white because it's less distraction. If you start doing things like that, it's great because I do use these things, but you've got to know when to use that. You've got so many different backgrounds that you can choose, and there are thousands and thousands of different backgrounds that you can choose, even running water if you want. Or I like this one actually. That is amazing and beautiful, but I don't use those normally in church. If we were having a concert, for example, I would use something like that. But ProPresenter is the boom. I mean, I can't begin to tell you the amount of things that it's able to do. Plus, you can use this also to do live streaming. If you want to do a live stream and you got this button up here that says live, you can do that. And interestingly, what it's really good for is for the Bible. And you can have whatever version of the Bible you want. So I'm only using King James, but if I want, I could, there are some free versions in here if I want to, but I just prefer just King James. So you could just, for example, let's say I was going to go to James 4 verse 7. That's one of my good verse. James 4 verse 7. And you could see how quickly I found it. I mean, it's just amazing. Let's say someone says Philippians 5 verse 6. Philippians 5 verse 6. And bam, look how quick that was. And that's on the screen now. And so what I always say to the people in church, whenever you quote a scripture, give us at least 5 seconds before you start reading, because sometimes we didn't hear you properly. Sometimes we don't understand what you said. But just give us a few seconds so that we can, just find it for you. I'm going to try and show you the actual background I like to use when it's a scripture. I like to use this background actually. It makes it, feel much better. So I have a screen in my room now that I can see that on the screen. So it's projecting. Whenever I turn this green button on, it's projecting onto the screen. So ProPresenter, I mean, it's amazing. And the good thing is it gets your young people engaged. We've got around 4 or 5 young people who can use this. I mean, it's just amazing. I've trained them, I've taught them, I've sent them the video to watch, and there's a lot of video that you can watch. There's so much more that this can do, but I'll leave that there for now. So ProPresenter then is one of those tools that is just truly, truly phenomenal. It is that phenomenal. I cannot begin to tell you. It was a gentleman by the name of Akeem Edwards who introduced it to me, and I wasn't really interested actually. And I decided, let him go ahead, and we purchased it. I was so glad that, I agreed to purchase the software, and it's only around 200 and maybe 250 pounds, and then maybe each year you have to pay for the license. But the way that we do it in the church is that we have a brother who took out 20, so he bought 20 license, and then we buy a license of him, just £100. So we don't have to pay this £200 every week, $200 in actual fact. So we just pay £100. And I mean, when you think about it, $100 a year, it's money, but it's worth it, I believe. And as I say, you can do much, much more with this. So let me go to number 3. Number 3 is Microsoft 365. I mean, let me say this to you. If you are in the Church of God of Prophecy and you have a church email, you already got Microsoft 365. If you're not using it, you could be more productive. So let me share with you how I use it, so that you can see what I do and how I work with it. But I'm not going to go into, all of the nitty gritties and so on. But the good thing about Microsoft 365 is that I work within the Microsoft Teams, and that will come up again later as well. So I work with the desktop app, so you can actually have it online or on the desktop, and everything is here. Your activities that is going on, if there are any, there certain information that people are sending you. You also have a calendar that you can actually use. You can phone people from within the system. What is so amazing is connected as well to your OneDrive, and this is my OneDrive folder. And I mean, if I want to, for example, just look for PowerPoint slides, I mean, this is amazing. It's showing me all the PowerPoint slides that I have. I can search for it, obviously, but I think this is just phenomenal. I don't know how many. I must have around 100, 200, 300, and it keeps going. So it normally tells me at the bottom of my map, but that is phenomenal in terms of what you can do with this. Your Word document, or my Word document, and I could actually look at the one that I opened last, and who owns that document, for example, and so on and so forth. I could do the same thing with PDF. Sometimes I'm looking for my PDF files, but voila, I can go through the entire database. And this is in one place. I mean, you can search for what you want as well, obviously. So let's say I search for all the files relating to prayer. Here they are. Biblical prayer and fasting. Anything that relates to fasting files down here. That's really, even Milton Keynes prayer, Small Heap, because they're all within the organization. And I could actually link in with that group by asking permission to join them and things like that. I mean, this is absolutely amazing what you can do with this. But here's some of my favorite. You can also use Copilot within the system. This is your ChatGPT version. I don't use this one personally, but I'll show you the one I use. But this is good. It's right here, right in the system, and it just really organizes things for you. You have different apps that you can bring into the system as well. You can bring different apps, and I mean, they're third-party apps that you can use and things. For example, forms. You can create forms that people fill in. So, for example, if I go here, now I could go to open up a form and link it to what I want. But I'm not going to go into that because it would just time consuming. But you get the drift where you can design your own form. People can fill it out online and you get all the data sent to you. But one of my absolute favorite is Planner. And this is an app. And basically in the local church in Wembley, everything that I do in the local church is listed in here somewhere. It's listed in here with me and my personal assistant. So if I go to one of our team meeting, and this is one of our team meeting here, my PA would list all the things that needs to be done for that meeting. And the moment she does that, I get an email notifying me that that's been done. If I type something here, hi Jackie, for example, whatever I type, the moment I click send, this button here, she gets an email. I mean, this is remarkable. And what is so beautiful about this is that you can do your search. So if I just type in Ted Roy, what did I write? Okay, over here. If I just type in, okay, I don't know why I'm capital lock is on ED. If I just put TD, I don't think I have anything to do in relation. Oh yes, one thing, I've got a website issue that I got to solve. And you can see, if I was to type in prayer, you will see 21 days of prayer and fasting that comes up. If there's anything else, it will come up. But what is also so beautiful about this is that you can also look at the schedule. So all of the information that you got there, if you put a date to it, is scheduled on your calendar. That is amazing. You have this chart view that tells you got 72 tasks left and the ones that are important, the ones that are urgent, and all of that stuff. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Can I just say this as well? All the big companies in the world, this is what they use. And if you're in the church, you got a prophecy, you got it for free. It's costing you nothing. And there's a lot more you can do. There's a lot more, as I say, you can do. I'm just touching the surface of this, but you can do your own research after. But Microsoft 365, Microsoft Word, Excel, and all of those stuff, you're not using these things, you could be working better, more efficient, and be more productive, and take more holidays, obviously. A lot of pastors, I realize, are not taking holidays because we've got so much to do, and which is really kind of interesting. But you've got these tools that God has given us that we can become more efficient, more effective, and also be able to help our people much better. We also have a link here called YouTube. So, and I don't have anything in here to put there, but it's just amazing the way it works. And 365 is then a game changer. Okay. Now, there are lots of other tools out there that competes with Microsoft 365. I would probably assume that 80% of the marketplace is using Microsoft 365. Probably 80%, I would say, are probably using this particular software. Now, let me move on to something else. Don't forget, if you have any question, I'm going to do one more, and if you have any questions, we'll go to the chat room and have a look. Tithing. You want... let's say you want to, do online giving, because nowadays people are not really carrying cash around as much as before. So I always say, get people to pay directly into your bank account is the best way, because then there are no extra charges. Does that make sense? With Tidely, there's a small amount that you got to pay. But Tidely is the one that I've researched, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the best. So it is important to recognize that there are some amazing tools out there that we can use to actually make life far more easier than before. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we do in Wembley, and this is truly remarkable. So this is our giving page, and those who wish to give can come here, and they can click this button straight away, and they can give. They can give again here. They can give into our bank account. We also have what we call text giving. So I don't have it here, where people can actually, phone a number, put something in, and it comes back asking you, how much would you like to give? And it's just so simple. So if a person comes to this section here, click either of these buttons, does the same thing, but look how easy this is. They click that button, and it goes to our giving page, which is worked through Tithely. You can see our church, which is here, Church of God of Prophecy, Wembley. We've got our logo up here. You can give it a one-time giving, a weekly giving, a bi-weekly, first and the fifth, or monthly. It's entirely up to you. It could be a one-off. But then you got a drop down here, and then people can choose, what they want to give. So if a person is giving their tithe, and it's going to be maybe monthly, they may say on the 27th of that month, they put their name inside that information, their phone number, and so on, and just put in how much they choose to give, and off you go. You do that here. Let's say I was going to give £1,000. That's what I was going to give. What is interesting here is this, is that it calculates whether you want to pay the charges that would go to Tithely, or whether it's no or yes. Are you mean? And if it's no, sorry, my apologies. Let me just do this first. If you want to cover the charges, you say no, then you just pay the 1,000. So the church then pays that 90. Notice a person giving $1,000, they take £19. So I always say to people, it's best to pay it directly into the bank account. We save that £19.67. But not everybody wants to do that. So let me go back a bit, and I'm going to change this to £100, okay? So you can see now that the fee is only £2.24. If I change that to 10, that might make it even more simpler. Or actually, let me do it by, let's say, £1. So if a person gives £1, the charge is 33p. But if they gave 10, obviously, the charge is 50p. Does that mean? Am I correct? Yeah, £10. Yeah. Yeah. So if they say no, then the church covers that 50p. If they say yes, they cover that 50p, and that gives them the option. Now, if they gifted it, they click yes. What is interesting, the government gives 25p out of every pound someone gives. So if you give £1, the government gives the church 25p, and we are able to collect that through here. We've done this, and recently we collected over £40,000 from the HM Custom, because people are giving online. You don't want to miss this. I'm telling you, you got to give people the option to do that. We also have, a card reader machine that people use in the church, because not everyone brings cash, and so you'd be amazed how much money, which is the same system actually. When I use a card reader, it's coming through the same system that we have here, but it's just a different method, if you like. But I strongly recommend that you consider doing that. Plus, I can log in here and go to my account, and the treasurer logs in and then manages the account that way. So that's a very, very powerful way then, brothers and sisters, in order for you to manage your online giving. This is really remarkable. I didn't show you everything because I can't. There's a back office that manages all of this. You set it all up. Once it's set up, people just give into that. I strongly recommend that. Okay, let me just check the chat room and see if there are any questions there which for me. Someone says, yes, Microsoft Teams is very useful. I've used it at my workplace. Sis Orton, thank you so much. Welcome again, everyone. Thank you for being here. Peter Nelson, bless you, sir. Louise and Kyra, I hope I've pronounced it well. Pastor Pauline, good to have you with us as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody else that's here, I really appreciate you. Brother Clive, how you doing, sir? Maureen, warrior of Yah. Yeah, bless you. Lynn, how are you? Hope all is well. All right, let me continue then. And as I said, there are many others out there, PayPal and so on. But Tithely, for me, is a game changer. And I love the company. I follow the company. I listen to their, their keynote speeches each year. And it's just a fantastic company. They're a Christian company, obviously. And they've been doing this for a long time. Now, let me go to, when we talk about live streaming, there are free software out there. So OBS Studio is free, and it's probably the best free live streaming software out there. It's without a shadow of a doubt. It's open source. It's open source, meaning that a lot of people are involved in its creation and its management and its maintenance. I used to use it, and it's technical, but you want to get used to it, it's okay. But I switched to vMix because vMix was another level up. Okay, and I'm going to show you my screen so you can see what vMix looked like, at least from the back end. So this is the vMix software that you're looking at, and probably very difficult for me to show it to you any other way. You're going to see probably a screen over the side, which is kind of like showing my picture several times, but it's not. It's okay. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. But this is what we use at church for our live streaming. This is what we use for all the funerals I do online. This is what I do with all my Bible studies. This is what we use to run the Women's Connect. This is what we use to do Illuminate. It is just amazing. It is a learning curve, but once you know it, you know it. Are you with me? So it really is phenomenal. So if I click on this button here, you can see all my production and everything that I have going on, different inputs here, but they're all grouped under different headings. So I've got lower thirds. So if I wanted to use this lower third, for example, I could use that one. If I wanted to use that one, I could use that one. If I wanted to say, please like, subscribe, and the rest of stuff, I could do that, and so on. I've got another one for audio. So this is all my audio files. So you can see this one here is my audio file. If when I turn it back on now, you can hear me, right? This is my audio file that I'm using. These are my cameras here. This is my, the camera that you see at the bottom right. This is how I start all my shows. So I would, switch from that to that, and so on and so forth. This is all the adverts that I have that I show. So they're all in different places. This is normally where I'd put my Bibles and all the worship videos, and everything is organized into different kind of, headings and so on. But this software is robust. It is amazing. And the good thing is you can have it free for 2 months. That's everything that I have for 2 months. And then obviously after that, it's a small charge. Now, if I go to vMix just for a moment, let me just go to their website. So vMix is really a powerful website, and you can see it here. And the beautiful thing about this is that these guys are amazing. I mean, but let me just say, vMix is only for Windows. So if you want to use it on a Mac, you can't. Okay, you can download, the software we got here free, and so on. But the reason why I came here was just to show you the comparison table in terms of you can have vMix for $60 a year, but you're limited to mostly to the amount of inputs that you have. So I have the Pro version, which is here. So I have this version. Sorry, I have this version here. So it's $1,200, and then I pay $60 every month. But if you've got the HD version, which is this one at $350, that's the one I would recommend, because you can have up to 1,000 input. With the $60, you only have 4 inputs. In other words, input meaning that you could only bring 4 things in. But here you can bring 1,000, which is the same as here as well. And the other main thing as well is a thing we call, let me see if I can find it. It's called vMix Call, which is this one here. So that means I can bring people in. So when you see, me and other people on the show, it means I brought them in. So I have the Pro version, so I can bring up to 8 people in. With the $60, you can't bring no one in, which is, if you don't need to bring anyone in, then that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Or you can bring one in. But the good thing about it is, if you started with a $60 one, you can then upgrade the difference whenever you want, but you'd only have four input. When I first started, I started at the $350, maybe around £300 or so. And I was very, very happy because I had one caller, and it's just me doing the show. And plus, you can bring people in different ways. You don't really have to use their vMix call. I can bring someone from Zoom right now into the production to kind of up the numbers there. So I moved from 350. Then I moved to, when I got involved with Illuminate, I then moved to the $700 because we wanted to get people in. But then Bishop wanted more people in, so that we could have a greater number in. And so we went up to the 1,200 and so on. But the good news is as well, you can have everything that I have for $50 per month. So you can pay $50 per month and you get everything. But after a year, $50, 12, 5, 6, you have paid £600. So after 1 year, you've almost paid the 4K level, if you see the point. So to me personally, I would never take out the $50 a month unless I only wanted it for 1 or 2 months. But then I would go for this. So as I said, OBS is free. I've got it. I've got OBS on my system. I just don't use it because I've got this particular one here. So I strongly recommend that you, if you decide to do online streaming, then you've got even the Ecamm Live, which is a browser-based one, and StreamYard, browser-based as well. But if you want something really up there, industry standard, then vMix is a game changer. Now, Restream, which is also, you can do live streaming with Restream. Now, we've got Restream, and I just want to show you how Restream works so that you can have an idea of how I use it, by the way. Okay. So I'm going to go to Restream and just going to make sure I got the right tab here. Okay. Now, with Restream, it really is, it's on a different level. Just really in a different level. So if I go to Restream right now, you can see from Restream that it's you can do your own live streaming within Restream. I don't do live streaming within Restream, but what I do, however, you can see this is the show that I'm on at the moment. What this does, it does give me certain highlights and so on. But if I wanted to do a new stream, for example, I will then decide how I'm going to do that. And it is really just really phenomenal. So if I go into the, let's say, this show that I'm preparing to, I could go live. I could upload videos into the system and then let the system go live whenever I schedule it to do so. So what I've got here basically is a certain videos within this show, and I could schedule this. For example, I could schedule this, and I was going to say, well, I'm going to schedule this. Today is what day? The 27th. So I'm going to schedule this to go live tonight at 11:15. And that, brothers and sisters, will go live. All these, and then I will decide where I want it to go live. Do I want it to go live on YouTube channel and different location? I won't do that now, but it's just to give you an idea. You can live stream with this. I won't show you how to do that at the moment because it might interfere with what I'm doing at the moment. But you can do your own live streaming through this. You can, put your videos into the system and send that to live stream. It's entirely up to you how you want to use the system. And while it's being live streamed, you can actually come back here and you can actually put messages. So when this is going on, I give people the impression that I'm live. I mean, I am live, but I could then put up, her details on the screen and while it's live. So, there's so much more you can do. And Restream is one of those software that lots of companies use. When I do funerals, we're using Restream to make sure that the cameramen, they send the feed here, and then I pull the feed from here into vMix, which really is phenomenal. So you can use Restream. It's there. A lot of people don't realize that, but it's there as a powerful medium that you can use to become more productive. Let me move on. Social media. I mean, I won't spend much time on this one because it doesn't need that much talking. But what this does, social media management, is that you can have a particular software that sends all your information to all your different social media sites, and you can program it to do so. So while you're sleeping, it's sending out to all these different social media sites, whether you're sending video, whether you're sending audio, whether you're sending a text or whatever it is you're doing. And Meta Business Suite is one of those. That's the one I use, but I use another one as well to send out. So if you see me on social media, some of the social media sites, I'm sending things out. It's been done automatically, and I can schedule that as to when it goes out. You could study these in YouTube. Now, one of my favorite, if you're talking about graphic design, wow, Canva is just, I mean, I don't know how to say it, but I remember when I first heard about Canva, I was absolutely blown away. I'm not so sure who it was that showed me how to use Canva, who introduced me to it. Actually, I think I know, actually, it was, trying to remember a name from the corporate office. Because what was going on was a lot of information that was coming, advertisement that was coming from the corporate office a few years ago didn't look so professional. And then all of a sudden, everything started looking professional. And I'm thinking, what have they done? Something is going on, because these leaflets, these flyers are too professional. They're just too good. So who is doing this? And then I found out the young lady that was doing it, and then I spoke to her about it, and she introduced me to Canva. I'm trying to remember her name; it's just not coming to me. and I've been using Canva ever since. And I was given the example yesterday. If I was to go to, this is not my main account, but I was given the example yesterday of how you can use Canva in an amazing sense. I want to show you one of the things that really was a game changer for me. So I'm going to use this picture. So I'm taking, these are photos that I have uploaded into the system. These people don't mind because their pictures are being used publicly anyway, so they don't mind. Right, but let me just take these two off for a moment and just use this one. I want to show you something which I found remarkable. This is in Canva, and if you've got the Pro account, then you can do this. I'm going to click a button, and then I'm going to count how quickly it removes the background. How quickly it removes the background. I'm going to click 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is remarkable. I mean, look at that. If I were to go to say, look, put some backgrounds on this, you can see how clean that cutout is, that background remover is. It absolutely is unbelievable. I mean, that alone was a game changer for me. Just that alone was a game changer. So you can produce your own videos, you can produce your own flyers, you can produce your own business card. I mean it's ridiculous what you can do. Now just quickly show you something, and I may come back to this, I may not. But let's just quickly show you something that you might be interested in. And you can get Canva Pro for beginners. Sorry, not for beginners. You can get Canva, every local church. We've got a Canva in Wembley. We've got 50 spaces, 50 accounts. And for our people. And why would you want to use Canva? I think the reasons are just mind-boggling. It's on the screen. I just put it in the screen. It's drag and drop. You just drag things in, design templates, thousands of them, posters, social media, upload, use your own images, videos, audio, and you can upload those into the system as well. Video editing tool. You can trim things, cut things, merge things. You can convert and edit into PDF. I mean, the list is so long. Okay. So I strongly recommend that one consider Canva as a real powerful tool that can make your designs more effectively. And as I said before, I use Canva almost every day. Almost every day. I think I was in it today. Yeah. In fact, actually, just to show you something. I mean, today, for example, I had something to do this morning, and the flyer that I sent out, I actually got the flyer as a template. So you can see this is the flyer here, that the template that I got from Canva. So Canva have thousands and thousands, if not millions, of templates. So I just took that template down, and then I created my own. So let me just go to my homepage for a moment and see if I can find it. I have so many designs in here. It's remarkable. And it is absolutely the boom. So here is the actual one that I designed. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, just made a mistake. I clicked on the one I was just working on. So let me go back out. I hope everyone's doing okay. Right, this is the one I was working on today. I'll come to those questions in a moment. I see them, and I'll come to them in a moment. So Okay, I'm not so sure why I'm doing that. So this is, I manipulated that software, and all I had to do basically, I mean, this took me maybe 10 minutes. All I had to do was put the wordings on the flyer that I wanted, upload the Church of God of Prophecy logo into the system, copy this from another flyer and just put my name on it, and that was it. I didn't change any photos whatsoever. If I wanted to change the photo, for example, and I have, let's say I wanted to change the photo, I could have changed the photo just like that, just drag that photo into that space, and it would have just done it for me. So I could, it could have been my picture and so on. Just go back to another design that I did, and this would have taken me maybe an hour to do, which was cool. We have been our men's session coming up soon, and this is the flyer that I did. That took me probably an hour, I say, an hour, because the background is already there. I had everything already. All I had to do was just to get the different photos from the guys that are coming on get the logos and just put them in and get a few wording, and that was it. But this looks so much more better. It's professional. It's I sit here and I look at it, what's missing, what can I actually add to it. And because it's a men's talk, we want to make it more manly rather than feminine, and so men can relate to it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's great. Okay, let me come back now. Just one thing I wanted to say here. You can use Canva or you can use Photoshop. Photoshop is subscription based. But let me just show you one thing while I'm here. I'm going to just show you something here while I'm here. I want you to make a note of this here, Photopea. It's literally the same as Photoshop, but it's free. It's online. It's absolutely free. I can't believe it, actually. So you could create new document, open forum and compute it. You could look for templates. I normally just go to a new document, and then it tells me what size do I want. Do I want a Facebook page cover? Do I want a Facebook event? You can choose whichever one you want. Normally when I come in here, I'm looking for I'm normally looking for 1920 by 1080. So I could create my own. I could decide I want a white paper. I'm going to use Adobe RGB. I'm going to choose 32-bit. I'm probably leave the background as white, maybe a little that color. Give it a name. I'll call it fun. And that's it. I think that's my page. All right. Oh, click create. I was looking for the create button. I couldn't find it. Right. So I did something. This doesn't look like 1920 by 1080. This doesn't 1920. Okay. You know what? I didn't do it right. 1080 is over here. That certainly didn't look like 1080. The DPI is what I changed. I want the DPI to be 3000. But if you do a DPI, you just want a 72 if you're gonna show it on the screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna do, yeah, that sound looks a bit better. Now, because this is a free thing, you will get some adverts on the right hand side and so on. But here you can come and you can begin to, this is a text tool here. You can begin to put your text. Jesus is Lord, for example. And then I could make the size a little bigger. Yeah, I like that. We could put it in the center. I think I would put Jesus in J. And the Lord But the point here is that you can, yeah, I'm not going to go through everything, but you can actually do some amazing things. You over here, the way that these Photoshop and Photopea works is that it works by layers, so you can turn a layer off and so on. And what I've just done is I've just double clicked the text layer, and I can do things in a 3D if I want, and I can manipulate the opacity. I can look at the blend. Do I want to overlay? I mean, it's I can't go into all of it, but it's just amazing what you can do. And all of these that I'm seeing in here, they're all similar to what's in Photoshop. They're really not much different. If I want to, I can bring up a photo from my desktop, for example, and I'm going to bring up, let's see something here. Let's bring this up here. You could see that. That's why I said it's drag and drop. You know, I could just leave that there. And as I say, it's Canva is easier than this, believe me. But this is really technical, but you can learn that easily through YouTube. I'm just giving you an example. It says Photopea. Go back out here. Not to show you guys see, but let me. I don't think Photopea. Yeah, I've got it on my screen here. Photopea.com. So you can take a look at it. Right. Let me just go to the chat room and see if I can respond to some of these points. Let me just see. Right. We are currently using ProPresenter at a monthly cost. Is there a cheaper way to pay? Example, a one-off payment for the software. No, you can't do one-off payment. They're just too clever for that now. Everything now is licensed, so they don't do one-off payment. And the reason why they don't do that, because they're constantly updating it, so they're adding more features to it, so they're not going to do the one-off payments anymore. Most companies ain't doing that anymore. If you're paying monthly, you're paying more, so you're better off paying for the whole 12 months. I think when you pay for the 12 months, you might save a month, if I'm not mistaken. The cheapest way, contact me and I will speak to the person who's got 20 seats. So this person has 20 seats in your region, by the way, 20 seats, and you can probably buy one off him, and it's you're paying less. So you'll be paying less. So I hope that helps. How do you get the free Canva Pro? Okay, excellent question. How do you get the free Canva Pro? I did explain. You may want to take a screenshot of this, and if you don't, you're not successful. But the way it works, let me explain the way it works. You create a free account first in Canva. Make sure you have a free account. Then you go to that website that's there, and then you got to select the Canva nonprofit, and you got to choose the HM revenue and custom. And you got to put in your gift aid tax exemption number. So you have to use your gift aid tax exemption number. So if your local church is gift aided, you know, you're applying to the government for gift aid, then you do have a gift aid number, and that's the number you're going to have to use to actually apply for the free account in Canva. Okay, if you have any challenges, do come back to me. Right, those that say you can't see, you're probably on the iPhone. You have to keep swiping. If you're on the iPhone, you're probably not seeing the screen because you may have to swipe it. So let me know if that works. What if the national office has the number and not the local church? No, every local church, thank you, Karen. Every local church has its own gift aid number. Okay, every local church has its own gift aid number. We use our gift aid number and applied for it, and we got it, and so did another church did it, and they got it. So, and so between the two churches, that's 100 particular account. So if people have challenges and it just won't happen, then we're gonna have to figure out that we give people accounts from the ones that we already got accounts for, because the reality is most churches don't need 50, don't need 50, but they're generous. So you can always email me and I will walk you through and help you through with that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let me continue then. And the next one I want to show you is DaVinci Resolve. Now, that's an amazing software. That's the one I use now. I used to use Camtasia. I used Adobe Premiere Pro for a little while, but DaVinci Resolve is free. And it's industry standard. I mean, it's just, I think this is crazy that it's free. Now, I have the paid version, but you really don't need it. Okay, you really don't need the paid version. This is DaVinci Resolve. And when you first come in, you'll be asked to do a new project. So I've already got one I call Fun. So I'm going to use that one. Now, I'm not going to necessarily show you everything, but at the bottom here is where you can put all your media files. You can bring your media files in, you can drop them in, or you can bring them in. So let me find a media file and I just bring it in. I'm trying to think. All right, let me just Shift and E here. I just did Shift and E to bring that in. So I'm just gonna go to my OneDrive folder. I'm gonna go to corporate. Is it corporate? Let me just do that one. Do that one. Corporate office. Corporate prayer. Right. So let's say, for example, I've got some videos here on Minister and Two Saints. So I could just bring them in and drop those into so that's they're in my media. So I got some files to work on. So my media is here and those files are over here. So I wanted to get rid of that. Right. So this is my media file over here, and I am excited about that. I'm looking for something, I don't see it. Right. So normally you have at the bottom here, you have the edit, which is where you would do all of your edits from. I'm not so sure why I don't see my media files. Where's my media files gone? Okay, let's bring them back in. That's strange. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they went to. Jokers. Okay. Right. So it might be that I'm working on the first one. So I just want to maybe just take a little portion of that and a little portion of that, and I could drag this down the bottom here, and okay, let me see why it's right. Okay, so I've just taken a little clip, just it's only how long is that clip? Boom boom. Clip is probably just a minute long. Is it a minute long? Let me just play it for a moment. Okay. So that clip is 22 seconds in length. So I could then say, well, I'm going to bring my offering thing here, so people can give to the church, and then I'm going to go to this particular sorry, that's the timeline I'm doing. So I'm going to go to this clip. I'm just going to take a little bit here. Just a little bit. Maybe a few seconds. And I'm going to drag that here. Now, it's possible that I may want to play, you know, an audio during this offering section. But I just play that for more. So what I've done basically, I've done a very, very quick edit. And then when it comes to the worship, then it cuts in, now. I'm just giving you just a brief overview. You know, it's amazing. You can also manage something called Fusion in this. I mean, this is so complicated, right? I don't even bother with it. I love the coloring system because it's just amazing. But once you learn it, you know, it's you can actually just say with that video, for example, you want to just brighten it. You see all of that taking place, and you could bring it down. It all depends on the effect that you want. You know, if you want to do the other one, it all depends on the effect you want. I don't even know what I'm doing, to tell you. Well, I do know what I'm doing, but I don't really play around with that. Fairlight is managing your audio. I mean, this is just, and it's free. But let me say this, okay? This is the audio here, so you can see the bar. So what I would say to you basically is all of these things can be easily learned. Okay, it's not rocket science. Okay, it's not rocket science, and it's free, and the training is free as well. Let me move on to email marketing. Now, a lot of you get emails from me, and I use a system called Constant Contact. I won't go into that, but it's a email marketing system. So I do email marketing as well from within Elvanta. So that's another email marketing system. Now listen, if you don't want to pay for Constant Contact, you don't want to pay for anything else, well, MailChimp's free up to a certain amount. So I think it's up to 2,000 emails. So you upload your emails into MailChimp, and you can begin to mail all your people if you want. And it's free up to a certain amount per month. Because I have over a database of over 3,000 plus people, you're not going to get that free, because you know they cap it after a certain while. So if you want to email marketing, you want to email your people once a week, once a month, then you need a system that's going to help you to become more efficient. So I can go into Elvanto, I can pull out the people I want to email within the different church teams, and I just send them a specific email. I don't have to worry about is the email correct because it's in the system, and boom, off it goes. So most of the information you get from me through emails is coming through Constant Contact or Elvanto. Now, if you want to build a website, there's a website content management. You can use Wix and all these kind of stuff, but the most popular one in the world, the most used in the world, is WordPress. Okay, it's amazing how WordPress works. It's just phenomenal. If you design website, you want to design website, then WordPress will be the go-to tool that you may want to consider using. I think WordPress is just amazing. I've been using WordPress now for, I don't know, 15, 20 years or so. I've learned it, I've mastered it. I can design a website in 4 hours. I mean, it's a lot that you have to do, by the way, but I could design a website, you know, in that time. It really is phenomenal. And there are people out there actually that probably could do it in lesser time than me, because they're that good, you and me. And but you got to have the knowledge, you got to have the skill. But how do you get it? You get it through making sure that you constantly study. Microsoft Teams, I mentioned that before in terms of online training and learning platforms. There are other ones, Thinkific, Teachable, Modal, but Microsoft Teams I find is absolutely beautiful. I've heard a lot about Modal. I have never tried it, but I do know you can do that in Microsoft Teams, and we have it within the church, and that's free. I mentioned about database and security tools, Microsoft OneDrive, and also within the Microsoft ecosystem, you also have SharePoint. And SharePoint is like, an intranet for your local church or just for your local team. So you can have 10 SharePoint, one that belongs to your pastors, one that belongs to all the ushers, another one that belongs to the women department, another one that belongs to the men department. And it's locked off just to those people that you give authorization to enter. So Microsoft OneDrive, can I just say as well that everyone that has a Microsoft account within the Church of God of Prophecy, you've got 1 terabyte of space in OneDrive. So the beauty about OneDrive is that you can have your information in a secured location in the cloud, and you can access it anywhere from in the world. You can access it through your iPad, through your phone, or through a computer that belongs to somebody else. And so you can log into your account from their computer, shut it down, and they don't have access to it. That is absolutely a mind-blowing thing. So I strongly recommend that. Now, this is my favorite slide, and I think it's my last slide. So I left my favorite slide to last. My favorite slide. Oh my gosh, I think I've gone back. ChatGPT is, to me, a game changer. I can't begin to tell you how honored I am when I received a phone call from one of my previous personal assistant called Denise, and she introduced me to ChatGPT 2 years ago. That's when I got involved, 2023, and I'll never forget that. It was one of the best phone calls that I'd ever received, and I think I phoned her several times just to say thank you. I phoned her several times just to say thank you. And I think she must have thought I was absolutely crazy. So this is ChatGPT. This is my account. I paid $20. So all the local church pays $20 a month for ChatGPT. Let me say this. If I had to pay £1,000 a month for ChatGPT, I would pay it. If I had the money, I'd pay it without question. You're talking about wanting to learn. You're talking about wanting to master something. I mean, I know nothing better than ChatGPT. I really don't. So I'm going to show you, I may run over time, but if you have to go, that's perfectly fine. We are using GoDaddy, which is expensive. How can we change? Very simple. There. Okay. Let's use that one as your thing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm using GoDaddy as my web development portal. I want to change to something else. I want you to recommend which one I should change to. Maybe recommend three other platforms that I could go to that may advance my development and learning. Now, I didn't type anything. There it is. I'm using GoDaddy as my web development portal. I want to change to something else. I want you to recommend which one I should change to. maybe recommend 3 other platforms that I could go to that may advance my development and learning. I mean, that is remarkable. Not even a mistake. Many times there are mistakes. I don't even worry about the mistakes. It seems to understand. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, I want you to notice how long it took to actually give me my answer. And then it answers me, and it says to me, good question, Pastor Errol. I actually have a way to let it address me as Pastor Errol. Since you want to move away from GoDaddy and find a platform that better supports your ambitions, building a church website, books, build children's literature, ministry content, maybe even online outreach, I'd recommend 3 alternative platforms. Each offers different strength depending on what you want to focus on. And guess what it highlights? Wix, WordPress, and Hostinger. These are 3 powerful ones. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing those 3 with me. I want you to choose one of the 3, probably the one that is most widely used. As a matter of fact, give me a breakdown of how many people are using WordPress, Hostinger, and Wix. Just very simple, not complicated. Maybe give it to me in a chart format. Now, I want you to notice that I'm talking to it, and the speed of it is remarkable, because if I was to type that, it would take me quite a long time to type. Now, it comes back, good question, Pastor Errol. Here's a simple breakdown of usage for WordPress, Wix, and Hostinger, showing how common each is. WordPress, 43.4% of all websites are built by WordPress. 3.8% by Wix, 2.8% by Hostinger. There's no way I'm going with Wix and Hostinger, but they're good. I don't knock them. They're beautiful, and so on. So WordPress is by far the most widely used platform globally. Given this, I recommend WordPress for you. Right. I want you to give it to me very simply, as you know, in a kind of a layout, because I'm new to this. So I want to move from GoDaddy to WordPress. Could you give me a simple step-by-step approach that I need to use as to how I can make that switch? Just give it to me. So I've spoken to it. I want you to know the speed by which things are going on here, and if I were to type that, it would take a lot of time. So it's given me the step. Step 1, move from GoDaddy to WordPress. Simple step-by-step guide. Choose a new WordPress host. Pick a company to host your new WordPress site. Popular choices, Hostinger. Now, I use SiteGround. So it's really helping the situation. I use SiteGround for all my hosting. So you're going to choose a hosting site. That's number 1. Okay, because if you're moving your website from GoDaddy, you're moving it to another hosting site. And so I use SiteGround. Then it says here, step 2 is install WordPress. Your new host will show a button called install WordPress, which is true. Step 3, export your content from GoDaddy. And GoDaddy has a selection called backup or export. Download your website files, okay? Log into your new WordPress site. The link normally looks like your blah, blah, blah. And add your page text, images, menus. So you may, and so on. Choose a theme. WordPress has many themes, okay? If you know what you're doing. I use a professional theme called Divi. I mean, it really is a game changer, the one I use. Connect your domain name, go back to, and it gives you the step by step. You see that? Step 1 to 7 and so on. So I use this. Now, let's say, for example, so I hope that helps you. As Clive said, how do you get GoDaddy how do you get this to talk to you? Well, here is the thing. Okay, let's see how I get, let's do, well, let me, before I do that, Jenny, I hope that it explains it in just in brief, so you can switch. It's not an issue. So, yeah, if you want to switch, it will tell you. Now, how do you get the system to talk back to you? Now, I'm not going to share if you're going to... Let me know, Brother Clive, if you do hear the sound when I turn it on. All I need to do is turn the sound on right here. The sound is now on. So if I'm going to ask it to do something for me. I love my wife dearly, and it's, you know, as a matter of fact, let's change that. Let's change that. My daughter is going to be 40 on the 29th of November. And I really want a beautiful poem. She's a beautiful young girl. She's 40 years on the 29th of November. And I want a poem. I only want 6 sections. I want it to rhyme as well. Only 4 lines per section. So I only want 6 sections, 4 lines per section. And it must rhyme, and it must be beautiful. I mean, after all, she's a beautiful daughter. Right, that's it. Let's see what it does, okay? Now, I've turned on the audio. Clive, let me know if you hear it. Let me know if you can hear it, Brother Clive. Oh, you can't hear it. Okay, okay. Let me just check something here. Okay, I'm trying to get this sound to direct it to you, but but what you can see, it's actually reading it to me, so I could stop it, but it does read it to me. So I'm not gonna. I should have got that set up before I started, and I would have to go through some settings to be able to direct the sound to you. So yeah, I would have to go through some settings to do that. So, but the sound is there. The sound is I could hear it speaking to me. I could hear it in my headphone. Now, if I can hear it in my headphone, then that should have been you should have been hearing it. If I could hear it in my headset, then why wasn't it being heard? Okay, I'll have to figure that one out. But I could hear it. So that's how you do it with a Clive. You'd have to just turn on this particular there when I put here, there's this sound here. I'm gonna turn it off for the time being. Now, let's say, for example, I have a PDF report. I have a book. Let me just use that. I have a book that I've written. So I'm going to go to a book that I've written. So this is a book I've written, brothers and sisters. These are my books. I'm going to look at, let me see. I'm going to take this one. Right. So what I've just done is I've just uploaded one of my books into ChatGPT. This book is quite. I can't remember how many pages it is, but I'm going to ask it to give me an honest assessment. I want you to give me an honest assessment of this book. I want you to review it. I want you to show me where all the mistakes may be and how I can move it. I want you to give me a rating as well, as to out of 100, how good the book is. So I need you to give me an honest review of the book and give it to me in table format, and give me the strength, the weaknesses, and things like that. So give me a full review, but do make it brief because I don't have that much time. All right, so I have put my book, this is my book that I've written, and I didn't write this book with ChatGPT. Okay, so it's reading the document, it's finished reading it, and here it says brief. It says 87 out of 100. I think that is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So long as it wasn't 20, I'm quite happy with 87 out of 100. A strong, practical, leadership-focused book that delivers real value in communication, conflict management, mindset, personal development. It is absolutely amazing. Strength of content, excellent. Structure and flow, very good. Audience impact, high. Writing style, strong but occasionally repetitive. That's a good to know. Originality, high. Usability, excellent. Visual and diagram, moderate. Could have been improved. Maybe it's showing me the 13% is really in the repetitiveness, because I did repetitiveness on purpose. So I did that for a reason. Usability, excellent. Visual diagram, moderate. So that could have been a bit more. Potential for updated revision, strong. So it gives me all the strength. Let's look at the weaknesses. Repetitive in sections, small formatting inconsistencies. More diagrams could help. Need updated workplace context, because that book was written a long time ago. Some stories can be shortened. Limited chapter summaries. So, that ain't bad. What could make the book even better? Improvement area, visual design, chapter summaries, modern examples, shorter sentences, workbook version. I think this is pretty good review. Now, I want you to notice something. How long did that take? I mean, that's pretty accurate, actually. That is pretty accurate. And I humble myself to all of that. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is unbelievable. And how many seconds, how long did it take me to actually do that? And I must say, if I go back to the book, let's just have a quick look at something here. I want to go back to the book for a moment, just to go back to... I'm going to go back to Errol's books, and just to go to tips. I just wanted to see, actually, if I open, I want to see how many pages it was. I'm just trying to remember how many pages it with 128 pages. 128. That's the last count that I see at the bottom. 121, 22. And it says 128 here, so that's what it says. So it's gone through 100. I mean, a lot. Some of the pages are notes. So up to the writing is 122 pages, and there is some updating I'm gonna have to do to the book, because I don't use that email address anymore. Neither do I use that website anymore. So I'm going to have to update those things. But the interesting thing is this, that ChatGPT went through that book in seconds and gave me an accurate assessment. I'm happy with 87%. If that was around 40, 50, 60, I would be questioning myself. And I know that the other 13% is based around the visual diagrams, and also based around the repetitive. And I did the repetitive on purpose. And so I just have a few things to, according to ChatGPT, it tells me all the strength of it: practical and actionable, strong storytelling, memorable acronyms. I use a lot of acronyms in the book. And look at that, it picked up the acronyms, and I remember all those acronyms, actually. universal themes, strong leadership tone, clear chapter flow, and so on and so forth. So, but there are some weaknesses, and but it's not weaknesses that I need to worry about. The content is solid, according to ChatGPT, and I'm quite happy with that. Now, let me say again, ChatGPT can do much more than I have time to tell you. Now, let's say I write a letter. Let's say, go back to the poem, for example. What I would do is I'll take this poem here, poem to my daughter. And what I would do basically is that I then bring it into Grammarly. That's what I do. I bring it into Grammarly. And I want to see if I can get this perfect in English and grammar and tone. But it all depends on the tone I want. So I could do the correctness in terms of any grammatical errors, the clarity. Then if I click on clarity, it seems very clear. Engagement, there's nothing to do on engagement. Delivery, delivery is fine. Style guide, that is fine. So the only issue really is in terms of correctness and so on. So let's come back here. So it's saying to me, you grew with strength, but it's giving me the suggestion you grew in strength. I could accept that, you know. I think the width is not a problem, and so on. So it's 98% now at the top there. So on this day, they just want me to put a comma in. So on this day, I give God praise. Now, look at this. 100% is telling me that this is 100% grammatically correct. Let me tell you a story. Let me go back here to just show you something. What happened to me is, I want to show you something. I would write my book. It might take me a year to write. It's not going to take me a year now, not with the tools I have. So it might take me a year to write it, but with ChatGPT, I can do it in probably maybe 3 months. So I would say writing, I would take, maybe a year to write, depending. One book took me 19 months. My very first book took me 19 months. Even though I had all the information already, it took me 19 months to actually do. When I finished writing the book, I would then print it. Or you could call it copy or photocopy the book. So I would photocopy around 10. And that would cost me £700. And then I would give it to all my key people to read. Bishop Mike Wilson and all the other lots of people. And it would take them, I would give them 1 month. So it could be, let's say it was a year, 12 months. So I would give them 1 month to actually go through and think. When they give it back to me, those 10 books, I have to rewrite. And that would take me 1 month to rewrite it. I got to go through 10 of them. And it was just a long, arduous process. And I'm not even working. This is like full time on this thing. I mean, it was really a thing. When they finish with it now, and everything is done right, I have a proof reader. And a proofreader could take up to a month, depending on his or her time. But mine was taking around a month to do it. And he was good. I mean, this is a professional proofreader. This is not an ordinary proofreader. This is a pro. This is one who is in the business. When he finished with it, his comments alone would take me another rewrite. And that would take me another month. because I have to rewrite. I mean, what he did was, it was just incredible how good this guy was. Actually, I used to stay in touch with him. I'm not sure if he's alive at the moment, but this guy was incredibly good. And then I would have to print the book. That's another story. Now, with the tools today, all of what you see here, I can do in 1 month. All of what you see here, I could do all of this in 1 month. In fact, there are some guys doing it less. It's amazing. All right, let me go back to ChatGPT and just show you something. And those of you that want to stay, you can stay. And just going to show you something. Let's say I wanted to write a book. I don't know. Someone give me an idea so I don't make it one. The first person to type in an idea of a book or even a business, you choose. I'll let someone choose. Anyone. The first comment I see that pops up. It might be something that you're working on. Lucas, how you doing? Oh man, give my regards to your amazing wife. Right, community calf. All right, let's look at community calf. All right, let's look at community calf. Let's go to a new chat. So I'm going to use a new chat for this one. I want to open up a community calf. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have really no idea what I'm doing. So I need some ideas from you as to what do I need to do. So give me a list and make it simple. Community calf. Yeah, go for it. All right, so I'm not even rereading that stuff because it just knows exactly what I want. Simple step-by-step list for opening a community calf. Define the purpose. Absolutely correct. That's what I teach. So know what your goal is. Decide the mission of the calf. Will it serve the community, support youth, help elderly? And you need to be specific. Choose the right location. Is it going to be check foot traffic, check transport access, check safety visibility, ensure it has space for seating, kitchen, storage? So you got to choose the location. And a thing that we teach in business is location, location, location. Create a basic plan. List what you will sell, list operating hours, and so on. Learn the legal requirements for a calf. That is amazing. Build a simple budget. Yeah, absolutely. Get essential equipment, that you'll need. Develop a small menu. Create a warm atmosphere. Recruit staff. Promote the calf. Add community activities. Review and improve. If you want, Pastor Errol, I can also create a full business plan, a starter budget, a calf name and logo. As a matter of fact, I would like 10 options for a name, actually. And a potential... give me the names first. And give me 10 names, really powerful name, whatever. All right, let's see. Okay. Thank you, Warrior of Yah. I'm viewing from my desktop. That's better. Now, 10 strong name ideas for your calf. Hope House Calf. The Gathering Place. Community Corner. I like that, actually. I like that. I think I like Community Corner. I think, without even going to all the others, I think Community Corner Calf with the 3 C's is amazing. Give me a logo, will you? Now, it may take a little time to actually create the logo, but I think the Community Calf is I like that name, Community Corner Calf. I think that's, so I would actually look to see whether anybody's got that name already, and then just go for it and so on. You know what I mean? So what it's doing now is it's creating that Community Corner Calf logo. Now, what is beautiful about this as well, you can also create it also in Canva. So Canva has the facility of, helping you create your own logo. So it gives you a recommendation and suggestion. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. you have to be kidding me. You oh, sorry, my apologies. Oh my goodness. Did I not switch? My apologies. Sorry. Community Corner Calf. I mean, those logos are amazing. I think that is outrageous. I don't know. I think, which one would I like? I mean, I think what I would like actually is this one on the right hand side, because of the cup. I think this is amazing. I really do. I'm gonna keep that one. So I'm gonna choose this one. This one. I mean, that is phenomenal. So that's my logo. So I'm gonna download my logo. Yeah, I've downloaded my logo. I'm gonna download. You're gonna say, yeah, download my logo. Right. So you didn't see my screen. So what I had done before, for those of you that didn't see the screen, sorry about that. It gave me the step-by-step for my community calf. Define the purpose, the location, the plan, the legal requirements, the budget, the tools, the small menu, the warm atmosphere, staff and volunteers, promote the calf, add community activities, review and improve. And it's asking me, do I want a full business plan for this? Okay. I asked for the name, 10 strong names. When I read this one, I just fell in love with it straight away. So I went for that one. And then it gave me these logos, and I think I chose this one. I think this is amazing. I really do think this is amazing. I mean, that is I don't know. And you could change the colors as well with these. You can actually, bring this into something like, Photoshop, and you can take out something that you don't want. You can take away the right set, and change it to what your style you want. Right, look at this now. Okay, you've given me some excellent thing. Now, I want you to write the business plan for me, please, for my community calf, using all the ideas that you've got there. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. So could you write me a very powerful business plan, a business plan that I could take to the bank? Okay, let's have a look. So I want a business plan that I can take to the bank. Okay, Pastor Errol, here is a clear, strong, professional business plan. Now, here is the thing. It's right in my business plan for my community corner calf. It's literally right in it. I can then change and manipulate what I want. No, it's still going on. It's still writing. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, this is my business plan. You know what I mean? I mean, it goes into figures and all of that stuff. We can look at that, and we could take out what we don't want. And it's even giving you risk management, risk of low footfall. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, all you need to do now is just to manipulate what you think is not right or whatever. And think. Okay. You mentioned that there are some legal requirements. I want you to search the internet and tell me what are the legal requirements. Put it again in list format, but I want you this time to put it on the canvas for me. Put it on the canvas. So I want to know what the legal requirements by law is, and I want you to notice this as well, that it will give you the sources, the source as well. So giving you the government, the websites, it's giving you the different places that it draw this information from. So it must do legal and regular steps. Register the CAF as a food business. Implement a food safety management system. I mean, it's here it is. I mean, this is just phenomenal. I mean, this is phenomenal. And it gives you all the sources. So you can actually go to those websites and see Legal Mission UK, how to start a cafe or restaurant in England and Wales. July 2nd, 2025, to start a cafe restaurant, have a business plan, consider funding. And there it is. It's really amazing. This is remarkable. Okay. I want you, ChatGPT, to imagine that you are the best community CAF manager the world has ever seen, and I need to write a book about community CAF. Could you first of all tell me what I need to do in order to produce this book as a bestseller? Okay, so I want my book to be a bestseller. Okay, let's see what it tells me. Now, I already know, what it's going to say because I've written books, so I know exactly what it's going to tell me. All right, Pastor Errol, is a clear, powerful roadmap. The first thing, as you notice, actually, it also followed biblical principle, because the scripture says, that you must, where there's no vision, the people perish. So you always start with define the purpose of the book. Who decide who the book will help? Who's the book for? What is the main problem you're trying to solve? Decide the transformation it will offer, and so on. So you need to define the purpose. Create a strong working title, because let me say this to you, the title is key for your book. My book is called Pursuing Excellence. So I just fell in love with that, and I would never change it. Identify your target audience. And it's interesting, outline for the core chapters. What would the outline be? And so on. I mean, it's just giving you this thing. Now, this is phenomenal. And it asked me, if you want, I can help you with full chapter outline. It could even write the introductory chapter. Even give me a cover design. I like that, actually. All right. I'll just do one more. Give me a chapter outline, please. And the way that it's teaching us is exactly the pattern that I followed even before ChatGPT came into existence. And this is what I teach people to do when I teach them how to write a book. And ChatGPT just confirms it for me. Chapter 1, the power of a community chat. And it's giving you suggestions. Then it's got here the 3C method: community, connection, CAF, how the method works. I mean, this is just remarkable. Could you tell me search the internet to find out the top 10 community CAF in the United Kingdom, and which one is the most successful? Put the successful one in order of priority. And that's an interesting question, because there are other CAF out there that all we need to do is find out who is the best and then look at what they're doing, because they must be doing something correct. And here they are: the CAF project, the gallery CAF, headroom CAF, Coca-Cola. In the list format, I want you to show me where they're located. Where are they located? In other words, what's their address? And give me their phone number as well, as a matter of fact. Let's have a look. Now, I have been doing so much research, which is what I'm doing now, and I'm getting, wow, look at that, brothers and sisters. Brighton Hill Parade, Basingstoke. The CAF project is in War Memorial Park, White Hart Lane. Headroom CAF. And these are some mighty powerful CAFs, actually. It says why it's hard to find full list with contact details. Many community CAFs are informal, volunteer run. Some CAFs rotate venue, church halls, data privacy. I can run a full web search now, aiming to find 10 to 15 community CAFs across the UK. Let's say yes. But it's interesting because it's given me, and I think this CAF here in the White Hart Lane must be something. So it's searching the internet. It's searched them and it's found some more. Didn't find much more, but it found some more. Yeah. Yeah. But it's amazing what this is doing, and it's searching the internet. And I have up here we've got web search at the bottom, so there's hardly anything that you can't do with this. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna stop there anyway. It's been an honor to be with you guys. I don't know if there's any questions for me before I disappear. And we've been looking at an amazing subject, essential software every church should have. And as I said before, my favorite is ChatGPT. Thank you very much. We have your email address. Yes, you've got my email address. It's errol.williams@cogop.org.uk or errol@cogop.com. So all of that information is there. It's also here. Let me take this off. So yeah, it's been a joy being with you guys for 2 hours. I think it has been. As I say, these software are amazing. I use every single one I showed you. Every single one I showed you, and I could vouch for them. It's really amazing when you can use these software for the benefit of the kingdom. And I think that's why God gave it to us, so that we can, be more excellent and so on and so forth. These tools did not come from Satan. Let me just say this. Satan does not have the ability to create anything out of nothing. All the technology that we see, all of the resources that we see was given by God. And all we're doing basically is finding out what God has hidden for us to discover. And if you notice, when it comes to technology has been around for thousands of years. Technology is nothing new. It's in the next 300, 400 years from today, in the next 1,000 years, the technology that the next 1,000 years will see will way outweigh and outstrip what we are seeing today. And the longer we live on the earth is the more we will discover what God has hidden for us to find. And may God richly bless you all. Well, it's been a joy and an honor and a privilege to share with you. It's always an honor to share with you. And just want to share this with you, that we have our men's session. It's for everyone, so women can join us. It will be on this network with all the same details of how you got here. And it's our men's hard talk session. And the topic is the man of today. And this is a joint men's talk with the New Testament leaders of the Church of God, the New Testament Church of God, with the Church of God of Prophecy. And so we decided to come together and to work together. And these are some of the things that we are doing. And to God be the glory, great things He has done. So put a date in your diary for me, 10th of December. It's only a few days away, maybe 2 weeks or so away. And look forward to it, actually. Well, 13 days away. Look forward to it with great excitement as my brothers and I will link up and discuss a very powerful topic. Well, take care of yourself, everyone, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be here with you. This young lady that I'm going to show has been with me for quite some time. I don't know who she is, but she does indeed close out very well. So take care of yourself. Until next time, bye for now.
I would like to encourage those who are suffering from anxiety or stress. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." So Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we ask that you to be with those who are tired, oh Lord, those who think that they're not going to make it, or those who think that they're lonely, or those who don't have enough strength, oh Lord. Strengthen them, oh Lord. You know that you will be with us, O Lord. Let us to have the strength so that we can run with you. We can run with faith, O Lord. O Lord, help us not to be weary, but Lord, strengthen us up, O Lord. Help us not to keep everything to ourselves, but give it to you. Let us to pray to you humbly if we need you, O Lord. In Jesus' name.